Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. And you've seen my sidekick, Awkward, the cat. She's now settling in for a nap. And you're lucky because my new webcam can go higher than her butt. I'm here to talk about a slightly different or a different angle on co-ops. I'm going to talk about CRIPS and co-oping. Disability support services. So to start with, I just want to clarify what we mean by disability support services. These are basically services that help with daily activities of life. Everything from personal care to cooking and cleaning to grocery shopping. Basically anything that somebody would need in their daily life. Okay, next slide. Okay, I live in the newest disability co-op in Edmonton. Which was started in 1989. The first co-op was Abbey Row, which I believe started in 1983. And the next was Art Space in 86. So both co-ops have a mixed population, which is disabled and non-disabled members. Which, depending on the building, 30 to 80% of the units are accessible. bit about the evolution of these buildings.
both everyone and this are traditional co-ops.
So both Abbey Road and Art Space are traditional co-ops in that
Units are rented.
units are rented.
The co-op is 11 but
And both are run by an elected board or realistically a acclaimed board of directors.
but then the co-op about 7
But both also have a separate board for disability support services.
which and the
And those are run obviously by the people that use the services.
The are done and the two can have a conflict.
But there's times when the two boards can have a conflict.
They may have a regarding it's working overnight for between units.
For example, aides working overnight and going in between units.
Causing noise.
And crossing.
Causing noise.
And causing noise, sorry.
So, it's deciding have to be negotiated.
So these are things that have to be negotiated. Next slide.
The algorithm of the Creekside
So Creekside is unique where I'm a member and that we own our own units and pool our resources for the personal care services. So how that works.
Mental health authority assesses each
So how that works is the provincial government assesses each person for hours of service
that
they require.
Within the all have 4 hours and then work together with our coordinator to schedule the
So the 18 of us pool our resources together and work with our coordinator to pool our resources and time and schedule our time.
And then how
What the advantage of that is that we can pool our resources rather than one person with disabilities on their own. Did I get that right? Right, trying to hire and retain somebody on their own. And basically having to try and run a small business. Next. Okay. So what does this all have to do with co-ops and post-secondary? Glad you asked.
I think the
It should get you thinking. I think the most important thing is it should get you thinking about inclusion. And asking yourself, what does it mean to be an accessible co-op? So it's one thing to have ramps on all your buildings. That's one form of accessible.
But
But that's really the bare minimum. Is it accessible to people with different kinds of disabilities? So a person with mobility disabilities has different needs than somebody with a versus is different than somebody who's blind. Are your governance structures, are your governance structures accessible? And if it was, when we're talking particularly about post-secondary co-ops, could we actually include, do you say professors? There's a bit of noise in the background. I'm having a hard time. Provisions to provide care.
Yeah.
Great.
Often,
because often for people, their home care hours are glued to their building or are associated with their building. Did I get that right? Right, traditional. Right. Right. Traditionally, personal care attendants are glued or attached to their building. Right. They're not allowed to work out. Like your person wouldn't be able to go to the university with you.
Yeah.
And so with a co-op, there's more room for members to shape services in ways that make sense for them.
No, I would say that you really have to push on the development of the people for using the I think that pressure makes a lot of sense.
I think that you could have a co-op within a co-op, one board for housing members and one board for personal care. And that's a model that makes a lot of, I think makes a lot of sense.
Well, I guess that
So I think that, oh, you had,
yeah. I'm so bad. No. But the most important thing is ultimately working with community.
So I think ultimately a really important thing to consider is what does it mean to be a community that combats ableism?
And by that,
so you know me, Michelle, I trust you on. You all know Michelle, so I'm assuming you all know what ableism is. Not everybody knows me. But,
no,
ableism, like racism and sexism, is a form of systemic discrimination. In this case, against people with disabilities. So to be a community that, in order to be a community that combats ableism, the first thing you need to do is treat disabled people as people.
the community members
as community members.
rather than us stereotypical versions of inspiration.
Rather than stereotypical burdens or inspiration.
Also, you need to understand that ableism is
You need to understand that ableism is entrenched in virtually every aspect of society.
The co-op model is conducted during movement by virtue of its democratic shared responsibility approach.
The co-op is a conducive model that's democratic and the shared responsibility approach.
But the movement never happens automatically.
But inclusion never happens automatically. It always requires intentional work. Thank
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.